Hi guys, it's Ruby from Oofy Scraps back with another 12 by 12 layout, and today we are scrapping the very first, well maybe second, spread in my Europe travel album from summer of 2019, so last summer. And something I had noticed I was missing often in my previous travel albums I've done is sort of transition periods, and so I try my best to capture photos from flights, train rides, bus rides, whatever we do to get from one place to the other, because I think it helps with the narrative of an album. So these are photos from my mom and I flying from our layover destination, which was in Sweden, to our final destination, which was in the south of France. We landed in Nice. So I've got this paper pad that I just got. I don't remember, let me see if I can find it, the name of the album, or the paper pad. Let me see. Here it is. It is My Mind's Eye World Traveler. And I got it at Tuesday Morning for $7 for the whole pad, and it's 48 sheets. So I think that was a pretty good deal. And I think I incorporated paper from different pads, but that background paper I use and then the plain paper is both from that. And I think the polka dot is too. The polka dot I'm matting the paper with. But anyway, something else I do here is, if you're wondering, the top left of that photo I just matted has a little geotag. It's kind of like a postage stamp with the like airport's title or whatever. You know how every airport has a 3-letter like title kind of thing, and that is from Snapchat. So I don't really Snapchat at all, but when I go on trips I like to download it or open it or log in. I think I might have the app on my phone. I do, but I don't use it unless I'm traveling, because I like to take photos with the little geotags that they have, because there's like often cute little like titles, or it'll have that type of a thing in an airport, and I think it's a fun like built-in embellishment in a photo. So I'm just matting these photos down, and I kind of was disappointed at first because I realized it was going to cover up a lot of the background, but I think you can still tell it's a map of the world when I finish, just because it's like the familiar shapes and stuff, but that was kind of a bummer to me. But anyways, it's not important. So my idea was kind of to have my photos be from Sweden to Nice, like that was my title in my head, and that is what I end up using. And I also have the boarding pass from my flight, this flight we were getting on and landing from. And I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get everything onto the page. I often have a harder time with bigger embellishments, so if I have a big photos or multiple photos and I want to add a bigger embellishment piece like the boarding pass, it takes me a little bit longer to figure out how I want everything. And then I felt like the photos weren't standing out enough with the blue polka dot background, so I matte them onto this little like white with aqua lines graph paper, which I think helps pop it off the page a little bit better. So I end up matting them both on that. And I wasn't sure how I was going to use that plain paper, but I ended up cutting that strip you can see, and I use it as kind of a big long across the page border strip. And I think that ended up working out well. It's like, you know, you can see what the planes are. Like, they're very easy to understand what they are with only just a little bit of them showing. So I made sure to cut it so that you could see a whole plane on it, just to make sure it was obvious. But yeah, this was a fun page. Definitely a very different layout arrangement than I normally do. And I do really love including memorabilia. I collect an obsessive amount of memorabilia, especially on trips. So I'm glad whenever I actually get it onto a page. And then I also have this little cut apart sheet that is like a little card, and it has a world map. It looks more like the top of a globe. Like, you can see that white center part, and it has like latitude and longitude lines. So I stuck that down because I wanted to incorporate that color scheme a little bit. And that little square to my right, next to the scissors, is a little France postage stamp, and I wanted to add that to the bottom of the second photo because the top photo has that little Swedish postage stamp thing on the top left from the Snapchat filter. So I wanted to have a version of that incorporated to the other photo. So I used this little France cut apart square. So now that I know how all the big stuff is going down, I start sticking it all down officially. So I've got my little stripe of my plain paper, and then I have my boarding pass, which I could have covered it up a lot more and you still would have known that was a boarding pass, but I wanted you to see, you know, the date, the time, the location, and my name is on it, what seat we were in. I thought all that information was like interesting and part of the story. So yeah, kind of decided to keep it. And I knew that there wasn't a ton of embellishing I was going to do on this. There wasn't a lot of applicable embellishment items that I had to go with this page. So I was happy to kind of use a bigger piece of memorabilia to kind of cover up a bunch of that page. And I think it looks pretty cool in the end. And this is also a pretty monochromatic look compared to what I often do. But yeah, I've been kind of trying out a lot of new things lately and liking it. It's been fun to try new things, and I'm happy with the variety I get in my album. Or albums, I guess I've been using a bunch. Or doing a bunch lately. Different albums. But yeah. And I'm just trying to trim off the little edge here of the boarding pass. And it was kind of hard to cut because it's such thin, flimsy material. Those like print off boarding passes. And a lot of times you don't get printed boarding passes anymore. They just have it on your phones, and we have them on our phones. And I have screenshotted them in the past and printed them out. But if you check your bags, oftentimes they give you physical boarding albums, boarding passes. So I was happy that we got those. And then I'm trying to figure out where I want to stick this Polaroid. I took a billion Polaroids. I love taking Polaroids and using them in my albums. And I think it's really cool because it's sort of a piece of memorabilia because you've taken these photos and they're on your phone. But when you print it out, the physical photo itself, you know, was from your local printing place, right? Whereas this Polaroid photo was actually with you in that moment, in that place, and it feels more special and significant, and I like the kind of effortless, mindless, uncontrollable aspect of Polaroids, that, you know, you can't control it very much. Point and shoot, sometimes it's overexposed, sometimes you're cropped out, and it just feels fun, and kind of what the Polaroid decides to pick up on in the image. So I really, really, really am a huge fan of Polaroids. And I do have the little Instax Mini, which is the one that I used obviously for that photo. And I also have the Polaroid Square. I don't know what it's called, but it has this, it makes like the traditional square Polaroid sizes. And then I also am really, really, really wanting to get the wide, Polaroid wide. It's like the biggest ones they offer. And yeah, I really want that because I think having all the different sizes would be really fun in scrapbooks. And yeah, I mean, the film for the square and the wide is obviously more expensive than the mini, so I don't really have that many square photos, and I don't know if I've ever included a square photo in a scrapbook album page. But anyways, Polaroid rant aside, I love Polaroids. That's all you need to know. So to get back to what I'm actually doing, I'm adding in my title here, and I've used these white sheer semi-translucent letter stickers to write down Nice, and then below it I put France in these little black clear tile stickers that are also letter stickers, obviously. And I use those same black ones to spell out Sweden on the top left, but instead of using those white stickers, I use these smaller aqua glitter stickers to spell out Stockholm. So we had our layover in Stockholm and flew to Nice, and then I end up putting two, like T-O, in the center between the photos, so it's like Stockholm, Sweden to Nice, France, as emphasizing the fact that it's one photo to the next before we take off to landing in France. To just further emphasize the story, and I put one on the top left and then one on the bottom right to kind of feel like we were making a little trip. So yeah, just sticking that down. And I don't do too much else. I mean, I spend 8+ minutes doing something else. but I don't remember there being a crazy amount of other embellishments I add from here. So I'm just sticking it down, letter stickers one at a time, making sure I don't spell something wrong. I think at first I forgot the C in Stockholm, at least in my head. I don't know if I did it on the page, but I remembered it when it came to really, really sticking it down. I didn't forget one. So that's good, because otherwise, you know, I would look a little dumb. But yeah, so we're just watching me stick down stickers, the most exciting part. And I really, really, really love these little tile stickers, the black letter alpha. There's so many stickers on there, and they're really, really tiny, so they're easy to add for dates, location, less important words, you know, because Stockholm and Nice were more important to me, and if I had one, I didn't really need the country as well, but it just felt good to add it, and this is a way of adding it without it being too crazy significant. So now, whenever I don't have a ton of embellishing to go on a page, I go to my little American Crafts sticker book and find something, because there's literally every color, it feels like, in here, so I'm able to do that. And I also forgot to tell you guys, I used a little sticker that says ready for takeoff on the top of the right side photo, and that's a sticker from some sticker sheet. I don't know what it was, but yeah, so it's kind of a monochromatic blue theme with a little bit of black touches. So there's the black font in the titles, and there's the black font on the boarding pass, and then I use that black takeoff sticker, and I think I used some black tiny word stickers too eventually. So in my little book, I found this like faux washi border tape. It's not washi at all, but it does the same effect that washi has. So I stuck a little bit of that on both photos, and this is kind of, obviously they're very offset, but I do a lot of mirroring. So I have half of that little cut apart map paper on both photos, and I have a heart sticker on both, and I put the little washi stuff on both. So to keep it a bit balanced, I kind of had that going on. And you guys really can't see the titles at all. I promise in real life it's a lot easier to read, but it's not coming across super easy to read on the camera. But that's okay. So yeah, I'm just flipping through, got to the end there. Once I hit the letter stickers, I know I've gotten to the end of my book. And arrows. Okay, so this is what I did to try and emphasize that journey feel that I'm trying to go for also. I stuck 3 different arrows down. I ended up putting 2 other wood veneer arrows as well around the little 2, the T-O, to emphasize like one place to the next, from here to there. So that was a good way of kind of getting that message across. And then I'm sticking down a little bow from these little bows I have with some double-sided tape, because the foam stickies that come with that just do not stick at all. And then I'm doing some secret stuff now off screen that I can't see. Oh, I'm still no, I'm not. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Can't tell. Oh, I was picking out letter stickers. Or no, what is that? Oh, it's a little like washi tape pack that I have, and I think it says yay, but it's white and pretty sheer, so you pretty much can't read it, but it feels important to put, or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And then I've got this black arrow sticker, and what am I doing now? I'm doing a lot of off-screen stuff. Okay, and then I grabbed these little fabric stickers, and I put one down that says something. I don't know though, I can't read it. It's too tiny to read, but I'm sure you guys can read it. So stuck that down, get a little layering going, and here's where I add the letter stickers. So I add the tiny word stickers that say a few different things, like remember this, or little moments, or something, you know, very vague sentiments that just kind of go with everything positive. If it was a negative thing, it wouldn't really work, but all the little positive moments work with these sentiments. So stuck those down, and then I'm going for my arrows here. And I wish I would have had some other arrow stickers. That black arrow I put on the first photo was way too long. so I had to not use that there. But yeah, I wanted to find some like flat arrow stickers and I couldn't find any, so I just made it work. And I'm gluing down my 2 different wood veneers. There we go. Just emphasizing my direction again. And I might end up adding some blue mist. Oh, wood veneer hearts. That's what I'm doing now. And I pull them out and then I actually throw it back in. Like, oh, I don't need this heart, but that's the only thing I was looking for. And yeah, if you didn't know, that little container I have, I've talked about it before, it's from Michael's. And they're like little tilt-out drawers. And if you want to, you can like tilt it all the way out and pull the whole drawer out if you need to like pull it away and then take it somewhere, or just to get into it easier. It's a really awesome little system, and I really like it a lot. And I like having it in front of me because it helps me use all my embellishments, and they have little clear windows so you can really see in to what's inside there. Oh, and then I'm finally adding my little France tag. I never added that. So I think I put it up on some foam. Yeah, there I go. And I'm running desperately low on my little foam scraps that I have, so I need to go get some regular foam. This is like the scrap of my Pop Dots, which I've used a ton of times. It's really gone for a long time for me, which is cool. And then another wood veneer heart. And yeah, I do end up adding some of that. So this is Mr. Huey's, well, that's Heidi Swap Color Shine in white. And I think it's pearlized, but the last few times I've used it, it sort of doesn't do anything. So I don't know. But then this is the Mr. Huey's mist, and it is in the color Sky. Mr. Huey's is a Studio Calico brand. So yeah, these are matte, and they kind of look a little bit watercolory, which is nice, but it's just a different effect than the other ones, and that is where we leave it. I hope you guys enjoyed this spread, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Happy scrapping!